Welcome to the positive parenting episodes of Healthy Five with Dr. Niyati. Healthy Five with Dr. Niyati is also a WhatsApp group. I've left my number in the description box. If you would like to have daily posts about your health, then you can send me a request and I can add you to the group. The group is a silent group which is opened on Sundays between 8 and 12 so that people can ask their questions and queries in the group. Healthy Five with Dr. Niyati is my YouTube channel which has many episodes about your health, and this is a special episode on positive parenting due to public demand. So I finished the first episode, and this is the second episode that I've come up with about bonding between the child and how to stage 1 and stage 2, how to sort of make a graph of your child's growth and physical growth, mental growth, and overall growth of your child. So in short, every parent wants an ideal child, and every parent also wants to be an ideal parent. So myth number 1, there is never an ideal parenthood. There is a good parenthood in which a parent looks at the child not as his or her success story, but as how the child is flowering in whatever the child has. See, remember one thing, that parents know their child the best. No one knows their child better than the parents. So in the life of a child, there are two stages. The first stage in which the parents are usually along with the child. That is from when the child is in kindergarten to the child comes in standard 4. We influence the child's life a lot at this time. And if we are wasting that time by sending a child to tuitions in which only studies are taken, then I think we are wasting a lot of time in bonding. The studies that a mother or a father teaches a child in those first formative years is second to none. Remember that. It's the best education you can impart. The problem is that many of the children are today going into English medium, but the parents' basic education has been in a vernacular medium. Then what? So those books which are in English medium are also available in vernacular medium. You can buy those books, understand the matter, buy English books, understand the matter, and explain it to your children. My friend has done this, and today all her 3 children are extremely successful without going for any coaching classes, any tuition classes. 2 of her children are chartered accountants, and one of her daughters is an MBA and also managing a good dance school. So this has been proven by many of my patients, people who came to me for counseling. They've used all those methods. I have 3 books on parenting, but unfortunately they are in Marathi. But if you do understand them, you can take the advantage of reading those books or these episodes which I'm going to do on YouTube channel. So now first thing is that when we were children and we told our parent we suggested something to our parent, and our parent said, well, you don't understand anything, you keep quiet. We would keep quiet. But today it's not like that. The children are more frank. First of all, if you're using a different language in your house, the respectful way of speaking to our parents is no longer there. It's just like as though you're talking to a friend. Many a times also about our phones, about our tabs, about our computers, our children know more than it. So if you tell your child you don't understand, then I think you are at a loss, because the child will say, hey mom, I know more than what you know. Maybe the child says this in his or her mind, but teach your child to be frank about their opinions. I find that the more frank the children are in childhood, the closer they will remain to you as they grow older. You will be the first one to know many things in their life as they grow older. And that joy, let me tell you, I've experienced it, and you will also experience it. So how do you go about that? Is through stories, through jokes, and through fun. Now what happens is, many parents whose children are toddlers and very tiny, they come to me that the children are today, they demand a lot of things. I want this, I want that, and then they cry and they raise a big drama about what they want. And then many a times grandparents are also at home, so they also indulge. They tell the parents, jane do, give, what is the harm, it's okay, but don't do that. When a child is crying and demanding, I want this, don't give in to their demands. Either you leave them in the room and go away from there. If you find that it's not safe to leave them in the room, then make them sit on a high stool or a high chair from which they cannot jump, and then just look at them and say, wow, someone looking so cute crying. And they will say like, what? They might even forget why they were crying for. Try doing this. Parents, let me tell you, it works. The child knows that whatever I demand is not going to be met if I'm going to throw these tantrums. When the parent says no, it means no. It has to be imbibed on the child's mind. But then parents, remember, when you say no means no, you should also stick to no means no. Don't then give in, okay, now you're good, okay, now I'll give it to you. Don't do that. Many a times, let me tell you, you have to like keep a heavy stone rock on your heart. You feel so sorry for that little baby. You want to give it to that child. You know that you can give it. But for the child's betterment, it is important they learn how to listen to know that they're not going to get a certain thing. So educate them about this, that no means no. Tell them stories. There are so many stories to be told. Ramayana and Mahabharata are treasure of stories. So many small stories about how to behave with people, how to in situations where you are in tenterhooks, how to go out of that situation. You're in a tight corner, how to get out of it. There are many stories. So do tell them the stories. Secondly, when children listen to the stories and you want to tell them that behave good, don't try to make it like a sermon. Try to make it like a story. So it becomes very good, because children have the ability of just switching off. They'll be showing that they're listening to you, but they have totally switched off. So don't make whatever you want to tell them in the form of a story or a joke, and then it imbibes on their mind much better. I'll tell you an example a mother had given me about how stories, her child had linked it into regular life. So the child's mother used to tell stories from the Bhagavad Gita. So as you all know, the description of the soul in the Bhagavad Gita is something that does not get wet or does not catch fire, and it is eternal. So this child had linked it so much into his own life that the child went to a chemist and said he wanted a band-aid of the soul. So the chemist said, you speak weird, you call your mother, I can't understand your language. So the mother went and asked the chemist, what is this child demanding? Is something related to the soul or something? He said, band-aid, or we don't have anything related to that. So his mother said, nothing, give him a wash-proof band-aid. So the wash-proof, that means the band-aid will not get wet. The child had linked it to the story from the Bhagavad Gita about the soul. So you can imagine what children do with stories that you tell them. So stories are a very integral part, and they should be told very nicely. If your mother tongue is Marathi, then I have told stories of Toto Chan in 60 parts on a parenting project channel called as Supraja. That channel is available on YouTube. Those stories are in Marathi. If any of you are interested, I can put one link of the first story in the description box, and then you can go and listen to those stories. They are in Marathi. You can use those stories to tell stories to your children also. So remember, first part and second part of your child's life is very important. In the second part, you should see to it that your talk is not more like a sermon. Understanding, ask them questions. In short, listen so that children will speak, and speak in such a way that children will listen. Short and simple. Tell me how you like this episode. There are more episodes coming up. Don't forget to watch those episodes, comment in the comment box, and do tell me whether you like the episodes.